What inspired the idea was when I first originally started writing my book, I envisioned it where I get on all sorts of clientele that come in my chair, and I get to hear the most amazing stories from every individual person. And I feel like, you know, I interview people every day, all day, every 30 minutes. So the idea came about as being able to interview the everyday people of everyday life. Is just finding the ordinary, beautiful people and finding out what they're unique and special in. Because we're all special and we're all talented in something. Chad, it's a pleasure having you here. Thank you for joining us at Fabulous Reality.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you, stopping in at your busy schedule.
Absolutely.
So how's everything going?
Good, man. Busy.
How's life treating you?
Life's good. Got a wedding in this weekend.
You're in
So
a
excited.
wedding this weekend?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Okay. Are you
One.
a 1.5 or one? What's that?
One.
1.5. So you're participating in the wedding?
Yeah, I'm a groomsman.
The groomsman. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I've never like been a groomsman in anybody's wedding.
Me either.
I'm not gonna lie. I've actually been the person that stole somebody's wedding before. I'm not gonna lie.
How'd that one go over?
I mean, I don't go because like the couple that we went to a wedding with, they never danced, and
Really?
their friends never danced, right? So when me and my ex-wife we went to this wedding, me and her just kind of like danced like the room away in a sense you could say.
There you
It was
go.
the most funnious thing
I
ever.
didn't know you were a dancer.
Bro, I got some
just
moves.
feeling good.
I got some moves here and there.
Perfect.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do, who you
I'm a
are.
general contractor here in Arizona. Anywhere really in the valley. We'll travel anywhere. Flagstaff, Prescott, anywhere around the valley really.
Okay.
Any flip we can find, we try to get our hands on it. And
So
make
if somebody
some
wanted to
money.
get a hold of you, if they had a flip that they want to get rid of,
Right now, a big one is on Instagram.
Okay.
So a
How
lot
are they
of
able to
people-
find you?
It's at Chad the Contractor.
Chad the Contractor. I
Yeah,
love it.
so a lot of people reach out through there, and there's a lot of different ways that we can reach out to, realtors or anybody to kind of find off-market deals. Obviously, anybody kind of knows right now the market's off the charts, so finding deals that,
It's really hard.
yeah, it's really hard to find, and then you also got to tear it apart and make sure that you're going to make money at the end.
It's true. I
Which
feel like
makes it-
I do feel like a lot of people are buying into things that they don't know what they're buying into right now, and
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
will be losing money, especially if they can't keep up their flow.
Yeah, I think right now you're seeing a lot of people buying, and they're making money now, and
Uh-huh.
low interest rates, which is good, and they'll lock into those, but it's as long as they can keep them.
That's key, right?
Yeah.
It's like one thing I did learn when purchasing my own home and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I think I made a big mistake when I first purchased my home. I really do think that, and I feel like what I should have done was I should have bought a duplex, lived in one, rent out the other one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
If you're
have-
young and you can do it, then yeah.
I mean anybody. I feel like
Anybody can do it, but when you have a family, it makes it a little bit tougher.
For sure, but
if you do it young and
but
you
if-
have that,
But if you think about it, if you're young, you want to move out of your parents' house.
yeah,
Guess what? You're gonna have to pay rent,
make
right?
somebody else pay.
Yeah,
you.
that way you can get 2 units. You can pay some of it and have the other person pay this whole unit off, right?
Yeah.
And boom, now your mortgage is paid.
I mean, I
And
even
you're
know
living
people
for free
my
in a
age.
sense.
They're just bought a house and they're renting out all the rooms and their mortgage is covered.
Yeah. How old are you?
So 24.
24. You're young blood.
Yeah, trying.
You know. I
Trying
love
to
it.
make it happen.
So, how did you get into flipping homes and working on projects like?
I mean, I got into construction first from my stepdad. He's owned a few construction companies, so I kind of was raised watching that. Garage cabinet company, hardwood floorings, and then he also did flips kind of before this last recession.
For sure.
So I kind of grew up watching it, and then kind of growing up, I didn't want to just go into taking over the family business. I kind of wanted to write my own legacy.
I get
so,
it. I did the same.
Yeah, so I just kind of went off on my own and started working for a guy, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and
Why didn't your dad show you the ropes?
he did, but it was kind of that same thing that I wanted to, like,
Do it on your own.
yeah, and I still like work with my stepdad now, and able to kind of bounce ideas off of each other and everything like that. But I didn't want to rely on
You're one resource.
them. Yeah. So I kind of had to went out, go find my own. And
So it's
work
almost
for
like
another
go out,
guy.
create your more resources,
Yeah.
more relationships.
And now I can do more work with him, but it's more, we work together. I'm not working for him.
I like that.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
I
how I
got-
wanted to set it up.
I understand because I used to work for my dad.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is. It has its moments.
Yeah.
I feel like my dad kind of limited me to
Yeah.
my potential, what I could
Really?
be doing in a sense. Because when I used to work for him, he used to like tell me, "Oh, you can't do this haircut," and he never even gave me a chance to even attempt it.
Even try it.
So it's like, how could you tell me I can't do something when you haven't even given me the opportunity or the chance, you know?
Yeah.
Or when he did give me the opportunity, because I was the last resort, you know what I mean? At that point, it's like you didn't give me enough opportunities to even perfect the ones you want to give me,
For
kind
sure.
of thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of decided to, at that point, I kind of decided to kind of go on my own. I kind of worked at a few other barbershops and kind of a few mom and pops.
I think it teaches you a lot when, like, even if you go into the same thing that your family does or dad, whatever, I think it still teaches you a lot to go out and see what other people do
I agree.
and kind of, you know, not, I don't want to say be handed everything because that's definitely not the case. Like, I know you still had to work for it. I still would have had to work for it, but definitely just kind of like going out, seeing what other people do, kind of how they run their show, and you kind of have more resources than what just one.
I agree.
You see one person.
Totally.
So,
So if you had to go back and tell your younger self 3 things, what would you tell yourself?
I mean, honestly, I probably would have dropped out of high school and just
Same.
got straight to work.
Same. I get
I mean,
it.
I just, I mean,
I
I
don't
still
got my
went to
GED.
college. Yeah, I still went to college and graduated, but I definitely think that I could have just went straight into the workforce, and I think right now I would have been a lot further ahead.
For sure. I get
Because
it.
I kind of see a crash coming now, and I feel like in my industry it would have been a lot more time ahead. But
I totally understand that one. I remember I had a professor, usually professors tell you to stay in school. I had a professor tell me I was wasting my time in school.
drop it.
I think he was the
Yeah.
best advice he ever gave me.
Some
Especially
people
for a
just know,
professor,
you know?
like,
Yeah.
he said, dude, you already know what you want to do. You're already working in the industry you want to own
Yeah.
your business in. The best advice I could ever give you is just go jump into
Just
it.
go do it.
He goes, you'll learn more out of
Yeah.
doing it than trying to learn it from someone.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I spent all that time in college, and now it's like I'm still learning now on things that I want to do in this industry. I mean, even though I got a construction management degree,
Yeah.
it didn't really teach me what I'm doing today.
I think we've had only like one person on our show that we've talked to.
Uh-huh.
That's actually got a degree and is actually working in the degree that he got his degree in. One out of all the people that
Well,
I've
it's
talked to.
doctor, lawyer.
Think about that.
What was it?
It was
Engineer.
like no, he was more like logistics and
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah.
he had a master's in like communications and stuff like
I
that.
gotcha. Yeah, especially now, like how expensive school is, it makes it tough.
For sure.
Especially when you come out of school and, you know,
You're
these
in
people
debt.
just go work, well, you're in debt, and then these people just go work in these, you know, go into their 9-to-5 career, and they're not paying what they should for how much school costs now. So
True.
it does make it tough.
I agree. My dad always taught me like, you know, you want to go to school, that's fine, but have at least some kind of like trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something that you can do with your hands. Something that, let's say, if there was no money market, you'd be able to do some kind of trade work with somebody.
Exactly.
You know, and that's kind of key. And I think you, by working in the construction and me cutting hair, it's kind of, we're both essential trades.
Exactly.
You know, it's a trade that, you know, everybody's always going to want, everybody's going to need.
Well, yeah, it's like me coming in today in work clothes, and, you know, usually I don't like to do it, but some days you gotta. And
It's true. So, who would you say inspired you to be you?
inspired me to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, growing up, I actually had a pretty cool experience. So my mom worked for a motivational speaker.
You worked for a motivational
My
speaker?
mom did.
Okay.
And so, you know, being younger or whatever, I was kind of around it a lot, and they would put me in the events. So like I was like 13, 14 years old, and they'd put me in these events.
Okay.
And so I think his name's Michael Burnoff.
Okay.
He's a motivational speaker and kind of neuro-linguistic programming and stuff. So I think he kind of inspired me because he kind of just, you know, basically engraved in me, like, whatever you want in this life, just go get it. Like, there's nothing really holding you back.
Except you.
Except for yourself. Yeah.
It's true.
And when I was younger, I was holding myself back a lot. You know, I wasn't confident at all. I couldn't speak in front of people. Like, probably couldn't do this interview right now in front of a camera. You know, like, had bad anxiety and like crazy stuff. So, like, you know, the stairs, like when you're walking up to like an apartment or something and they have the holes in them.
Yep.
I couldn't go up those.
Really?
You know, yeah. So it's like stuff like that, and then you know a lot of programming in your own mind.
How'd you overcome something like that? Because that's big.
Honestly, just working with them. There's a lot of different things that, you know, I don't think it would be like one thing that kind of overcame it, but it was just, you know, I'd be at these events and there'd be thousands of people there, and he'd pull me up on stage and I'd have to do a speech in front of people, you know, and so there was really no like,
No going back. At that
yeah,
point.
like it was just kind of like, all right, you're gonna do this, you're trained for it, and there's definitely times where I'd be mid anxiety attack while I was up there, but you know, he'd walk me through it and kind of got me over those fears, and so.
Did he give you any kind of like coping tools or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of tools, you know. I mean, when I'd have these anxiety attacks, he'd basically kind of walk you through these scenes, you know, that would kind of calm you down, and he would kind of take things that he knew you liked, you know, say you liked the beach or something, he'd kind of walk you through this scene of, you know, walking down the beach and smelling those smells and hearing the waves and feeling the sand, you know, and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times in work, you know, when things get stressful or, you know, things are kind of tense or whatever, you know, you can kind of, maybe it's not walking down the beach, maybe, but it's just something that you really like, you know, and kind of walk yourself down that, take a minute to yourself and just be like, hey, man, everything's going to be all right.
You ever seen the movie Bolo?
Mm-mm.
With Johnny Depp? There's a scene where he's carrying 2 cases full of cocaine, right? And he just got out of probation.
Yeah.
He just got out on probation
Bad.
out of jail, right?
Yeah.
And he's on his way to Colombia, whatever, I think.
Yeah.
And he's coming back with 2 cases of cocaine. And he's like telling the top boss, he's like, I'm just gonna walk through, like, nonchalant,
Yeah,
just walk through the line.
go.
And I remember like the line so well because he's as he's walking, he had these like funny ass chops, right?
Yeah.
Like, this thing, and he's like walking with 2 suitcases, and he's like, you know, this is the moment where you gotta like think of something great, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can't think of that. You know,
You're gonna get
2,
caught.
like, you
Yeah.
have X amount of kilos.
Yeah, just forget about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
think about something else.
Positive, and that's
Yeah.
what he did. And he was thinking about like a nice beach with the sand,
Yeah,
you know, with a
just
nice
kinda-
woman or something like that.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and it's true because like, you know, when you
Well, it's
play-
your own self talking you out of these things or putting yourself in these anxiety attacks. It's not anybody else. When you have those and you don't know those things, you think it's other people.
It's true.
Oh, it's my teacher. They're gonna make me talk for that's giving me. No, it's not. It's yourself.
yourself.
You know. So that's kind of the.
It's true. It's like you're your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Because of the fact of how you talk to yourself and how you perceive yourself. It's
Yeah.
funny. I know a few people where they think that somebody is either looking at them or talking about them when
They
have
could
no
care less about.
They
what
could
it's
care
like.
less about
Yeah.
that person. It's just like, you know, you're in your own head, and
Yep.
how you perceiving yourself is how other people are perceiving you too.
For
and that's
sure.
and that's the scary part. It's like if you're seeing yourself as
Yeah.
a victim, you know what I mean.
You got to be able to pull yourself out of that.
100%.
Yeah.
What do you think of the haircut?
I like it, man. As always.
I love it.
Always fresh.
So, what would you tell yourself 5 years from now if you were to look back and, you know, what kind of like advice would you give yourself for like?
Give myself advice for 5 years from
5
now.
years from now, or where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I mean, hopefully in 5 years, I'm really on my own, doing my own thing, still flipping houses. I really like it. If I could give myself any advice, it would be just to go for it, because there's a lot of deals that over the years I've kind of backed out of because I just said I wasn't ready, but I could
So
have done
that
a
word
lot
right
with them.
there,
Yeah.
I'm not ready. It's
Yep.
such like a dream killer.
Exactly.
It's
So
like
just go for
you
it.
can never be ready for your dream.
Yeah. Don't stop yourself. Just go for it.
It's very true. You just gotta, you know, take consistency,
Yep.
repetition, anything else, right?
Yep. Stay after
On a
it.
razor your neck and stuff.
Cool.
There's one thing you want to leave behind in your life. What would it be?
Probably a good story to tell. Because honestly, if I was to leave this earth right now, I wouldn't be happy with the story I'm leaving.
What kind of story would you want to leave?
Something fun, exciting, adventurous. Be known for the guy that's always doing something crazy, fun, exciting. Buying crazy stuff,
Building crazy things.
building crazy things,
Would you want to build big things or small things?
big things.
How big are we talking about?
Depends what we're building.
Fair. Totally fair. I was really surprised when I saw you on the schedule.
I booked it this morning.
I know. Because I just saw you. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
I
but I knew I had to come get lined up. Gotta be looking fresh.
Would you want to get married soon?
Do I want to? Honestly, not the big wedding part. I'm not opposed to the getting married, but I'm not a big fan of the big wedding, all the people, all the stress. That I'm not a fan of.
So you remember how I got married?
No.
So I got married in Greece.
Did you?
Santorini.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I got married in Greece in Santorini. Right?
Yeah.
And I invited none of my parents, none of my grandparents.
You just went.
Well, because it's like everybody was trying to make it about them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And I was just like, well, you guys aren't paying for this and this and this, and you guys tell me I need this and that and that.
Yeah.
When
all of a sudden
it's not even mine anymore.
Yeah.
So then it was just like, why would I want to have it? You know?
You know, this wedding this weekend, you know, they had problems. The venue couldn't put the tent up or something because of labor shortages or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a lot of stress. And it's like, I feel like that's the last thing you want when you're about to get married. Is just go, you know, and even go somewhere like just you two get married.
That's exactly what we did.
And then come back and maybe have a party.
Oh, no, we did.
You just went.
So what we did was we got married in Greece, right? And then we went to France, Italy, UK, and Israel.
There you go.
And how much do you think we spent on the whole thing? Like,
15 grand.
I'm talking about 30 days.
Oh, you were going for 30
I was
days?
gone for 30 days. I'm
Oh,
talking about the
probably
wedding
more.
plus honeymoon.
Right?
Right?
Probably like 25.
It's like 35.
But you went a lot of places.
Went a lot of
And you
places.
probably did whatever you wanted.
I wanted to do whatever I wanted. And I had nobody telling me what I
Still
couldn't do.
cheaper than a wedding.
Dude, our weddings were looking at about 120,000.
Yeah.
And I was just like 150 people.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know if I want to spend 100. I was like, I could buy a house with that, dude.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. A lot of people
Right?
spend that, you know?
I know. It's crazy.
You know, I have clients straight up that are, you know, super wealthy, that try to, you know, give their kids a leg up, right? And they all tell their kids, like, they all, you know, the funny thing is, like, the parents will always give the kid the option of, hey, do you want the wedding or do you want me to put a down payment on your house?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if they're like, the kid was really smart,
House.
the house, you know, then you're not having to worry about where you're gonna live, where you're gonna go.
Yep.
Like, you got a foundation to stand on.
And 100, you know, most weddings, 120 is
Yeah.
pretry much a benchmark. Like,
Easy.
it's a big down payment.
1000% it is.
So,
It's huge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a massage.
Yeah, I'd take the money.
So you take the money, right? So let me ask you one question. If you had an opportunity to take the power or the money, what would you rather have? Power or money?
Power.
Power, okay. I like that.
Money can only get you
Fame?
so far.
Fame? Or would you rather, okay, would you rather be successful with fame or successful without fame?
Without fame.
Sure.
I like to ride under the radar.
I get it.
Yeah. I don't like being on the spotlight.
In a spotlight today.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's alright.
Chad, thank you for joining us at Fabulous Reality.
Thank you,
I'm just
man.
I'm gonna have you let them know where they can find you. If you want, you can give them your phone number as well.
Okay.
You
Is
know?
that Chad the Contractor on Instagram? You can hit me up on there.
Cool. Is there a phone number they could reach out to if they wanted to?
Yeah, 602-677-9665.
I love it.
Perfect.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
Fun
I'll
stuff.
see you next time.
Perfect.
Thank you guys for watching Fabulous Reality, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
What you been about? All the time we spent apart, they got me healing now. Yeah, if I think about it, I just write it down. For their thoughts, man, that should've never